Jaya Radha Vinod, Jaya Radha Vinod.
Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Gauravani Prasarine Niyamsreya Yamani Radharani Shiva Jaya Jaya Gauravani Bharati Krishna Shiva Jaya Jaya Gauravani Bharati Krishna Hey, Nami, Jagamana Laura. Hey, Nami, Jagamana Laura.
Translation. Again, there are those who, although not conversant in spiritual knowledge, begin to worship the Supreme Person upon hearing about him from others. Because of the tendency to hear from authorities, they also transcend the path of birth and death. So I picked this verse because it's a protocol for us that we're not very qualified, we're not conversant in spiritual knowledge. But we've begun to worship the Lord by hearing from the great soul like Srila Prabhupada, who is telling us so clearly throughout his purpose, throughout his life, that this is the process. Shravana Kirtan, beginning with hearing. But this hearing is very important. We should regularly hear the message by Gita, Srila Prabhupada, and then the verse is telling us, just by doing that, we can transcend that. By regularly hearing, and of course you have to digest it, absorb it, and act on that hearing. It's not just in one ear, not the other. There's a message is here. We hear the message and apply it in our life, then we can become perfect. This is the idea. And the Prabhupada is always encouraging us why we can't become perfect. It's not easy in one sense, but we were mentioning this morning, there's a seventh chapter, Daiviye Sigunamayi. Daiviye Sigunamayi, Mama is means that Maya is very difficult to overcome, the right hand. But one who surrenders to me, Krishna says, he can easily cross me out. But this is the way we surrender to Krishna, by hearing. By hearing from Krishna, and Krishna's representative, then just by hearing we make progress. But of course we should try to understand what we're hearing, not just blind hearing. I'll read the verse again. And again, there are those who, although not conversant in spiritual knowledge, that's us. We didn't have any spiritual knowledge. We're coming, sutras, Kali Yuga. We're like the bottom of the barrel. And the others have gone back to God, they're still here. So we begin to worship the Supreme Person upon hearing about him from others. So the others, they have to be bona fide. We hear from the garbage collector, we won't be able to liberate it. But if we hear from Srila Prabhupada, then we can go back on back to God. Because of the tendency to hear from authorities, so we have to find out who is the authority, who is bona fide to speak on this subject. Then we hear from them, and for us it's very clear. It should be clear to everybody. Prabhupada is empowered representative of Krishna. If we hear from him regularly, then we can, as the next verse said, we can transcend the path of birth and death. Okay, go forward. This verse is particularly applicable to modern society. Because in modern society, there is practically no education in spiritual matters. They don't allow you because they say, no, we're secular. You can't teach this. You can't have a curriculum. Actually, that's how I joined. One of the main reasons I joined was the devotees at the university where I was studying. They managed to get a course in Vedic studies. And it was an experimental college. They were experimenting, so people could come and say, yeah, I have to give this course. And so the devotees came and they said, we want to give this course. And the textbook we had to buy was Bhagavad Gita. That was our textbook. We get credit for this course. They only did it once a semester because 2 or 3 devotees became, 2 or 3 people in the class became devotees. And their parents complained like anything. I sent my kid to school and he becomes a devotee? What's going on? But that 1 year, a little loophole was there, and we made quite a few devotees. So, this is the process. We hear from the right authority. So we know the authorities. We have so many authorities. There are 12, right? Who knows what 12? Maybe you know.
Mike is there, Mike is there.
Clearly.
स्वयं नारद शंभु कुमार कपिलो प्रहलाद जनक वैष्णव बलि वयास की बैठक.
So, for us also we have our parampara. There's so many. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. We can hear from him. Bhaktivinoda Tagore. Because actually, there's a wonderful poem I wrote. This is one more about Bhaktivinoda Tagore. And once one of the Lord Gurudas, he said, Father, I'm reading some books by Bhaktivinoda, and I like his writings even more than yours. I wouldn't say. But Prabhupada said, oh yes, I think his writing is better than mine also. Prabhupada was wrong. So he was a real scholar. He wrote the one poem he wrote, you can find. Oh, Saragati Vaishnava Soul, Art and Angel. I don't know how you can find it on YouTube. The first line is, alas, for those who spend their days in festive mirth and joy. That's the first line of the poem. Alas, A-L-A-S. But you could probably find it online. Bhaktivinoda Tagore was written in 18. It's a wonderful poem. So we can hear from anybody who's bona fide. And we're not sure if they're bona fide, then we ask the GBC or ask the sannyasis. Okay, some of the people may appear to be atheistic or agnostic or philosophical, but actually there's no knowledge of philosophy. As for the common man, if he is a good soul, then there is a chance for advancement by hearing. The hearing process is very important. Lord Chaitanya, who preached Krishna consciousness in the modern world, gave great stress to hearing. Because if the common man simply hears from authoritative sources, he can progress, especially according to Lord Chaitanya. If you hear the transcendental vibration, this is the process. Shravana Kirtan. First, that's why when we sing, you call and respond. Sometimes the devotees want to jump in. It's the leader. No, that's not the process. We chant call and respond. First, we have to hear. Then we chant. So hearing is the first. But they go together. One without the other. So this is a simple process. You don't have to be a big scholar. Just regularly hear and chant. And you'll become advanced. And the first sign of advancement, you're losing your attraction to the musty affairs and greedy. You lose your greed. I mean, how much money do you need? The rich people become mad at making money, but they can't take it with them. But I'll give it to my is stated therefore that all men should take advantage of hearing to realize souls and gradually become able to understand everything. So here's the realized soul, Srila Prabhupada, in his purpose. He's telling us, therefore Prabhupada stressed it, read my books. He took so much trouble to write this book. Every night, middle of the night, for hours, he was writing these purports. A lot of purpose of there, Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya. It took hours and hours of Prabhupada's time. And he sacrificed that for our benefit because he knew he was establishing a movement that was going to go on for 10,000 years. He was empowered to do that. I tell the story of we were coming into Bangalore, we were walking in Los Angeles, we came the back way, the Lord Prabhupada saw us, we were waiting for him, they didn't see him. And he was inspired to see them, how enthusiastic they were to greet Prabhupada. And then he said, Prabhupada was in the car in front of the driver, and the face on the ice was going back. One of them was me. And Prabhupada said, they cannot change this movement. This movement will go unchecked for the next 10,000 years. Prabhupada ki. So all we have to do is stay connected. Don't be over-intelligent and think you can learn something better. Everything is here. There's nothing that Prabhupada doesn't deal with properly. All his books. There. Just by hearing, we can go back together. Then the worship of the Supreme Lord will undoubtedly take place. But Chaitanya said that in this age, no one needs to change his position. But one should give up the endeavor to understand the absolute truth by speculative reasoning. One should learn to become the servant of those who are in knowledge of the Supreme Lord. If one is fortunate enough to take shelter of the devotee, hear from him about self-realization, and follow in his footsteps, one will be gradually elevated into the position of devotee. In this verse particularly, the process of hearing is strongly recommended, and this is very appropriate. Although the common man is often not as capable as so-called philosophers, faithful hearing from an authoritative person will help one transcend into existence and go back home, back to God. That's the end of this purpose, but it's clear. We should make a practice every day hearing. If we can't come to the temple, we can hear by reading. It's a way of hearing also. Or you can get tapes of hearing. But that's required. Hearing, and then of course, if there's any questions about what we've heard, you have an obligation to inquire. Appreciate Sukadeva Swami, Sukadeva was teaching, and sometimes it's a little too loud. Sometimes he was that Parikshit Maharaj asked a question to Sukadeva Goswami, and this question was so good, he had to check himself and go into trance just by hearing the question. So we welcome questions that give us a chance to expound more on the glories of the Lord. Of course, but maybe it was because of our not being so mature, but he encouraged us to speak less and chant more. Because we're not so advanced. We should, though, some things we should speak. Whenever we have a prayer, there was never a time when Prabhupada did a program that he didn't also speak. Maybe short prayer, and Davidi encourages us to do a short prayer, and then have a second prayer. So he emphasized the chanting. Because in the chanting we're also hearing. That's why I'm very particular about it. I don't want people to sing with me. It's call and response. You hear the tune, you hear the sound. One tune is hard for you to follow, which is natural, which is a little tricky to me. And it brings me into another tune, which is simple. Yeah, but we don't play with big musicians or deeper into the subject. Who's there? Yes, sir. Give them a microphone.
Hey, Krishna Maharaj, thank you very much for this class. Maharaj, you read there that gradually, with association, one can become a perfect devotee.
Hard for me to follow.
Gradually, with association of devotees, one can become a pure devotee.
Yes, yeah.
So, Maharaj, I am 55 years old. I have many diseases, so I don't know how long I have to live. So, is there a way to accelerate the process?
Because he's how old?
He's 55 years old.
He's a baby. But it's true, we should be serious about hearing it, because we don't know when we're going to die. You can die young also. So we should take it seriously, this process. That's the T-brain of Bhakti Yoga. It means you take the Bhakti Yoga seriously. T-brain. What's the other word mean? We looked up that word, T-brain. Now do you know the other word? Huh? Intense. Intense devotion. I mean, we should put everything out. That's why I had to show it completely. Then it's too much. We just want to focus on the subject matter. There's that verse, right? 241. Who knows what?
Vyavasayatmika buddhi.
Recite it first.
व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धिरेकेन गुरुनन्दन भूषाकाख्यनन्ताश्च पुत्रयो व्यवसायिनः.
Translation.
One who is on this path is resolute in purpose and his aim is one.
His aim is one. There's a story like that. When Dronacharya, he was a teacher, right? He was teaching the Pandavas and the Kurus. And so they had a stuffed owl, on a tree high up, and they were shooting. And they would shoot, and Dronacharya said, "What do you see?" The Yudhishthira said, "I see the bird. What else do you see?" "I see the branches of the tree." "What else do you see?" "I see the sky." "Okay, next." Like that, they were all saying that. Arjuna came. "Arjuna, what do you see?" "I see the bird." "What else do you see?" "I see the head of the bird." "What else do you see?" "I see the eye of the bird." Focused in. Therefore, he was the best Arjuna. Next to Brahma. So that's what we have to do. We have to become focused in our devotion. Focused in hearing the japa when we chant every day. Don't make it just mechanical. Listen carefully. Krishna's there in His name. This is the essence of our whole philosophy, to chant Hare Krishna. So we're practicing every day. So how to improve the quality by focusing on the hearing the holy name. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare. That was Hare Krishna. Anyone else? You see, if you ask a question, then we can develop it. Mataji, you want to speak again? Whoever is ready to speak.
One question I would like to ask, because when I'm reading, sometimes the mind wanders.
Sometimes, all the time. Mind is nature.
But I'm not able to, so how do I go about it?
You have to
Because
teach.
especially
Okay, Sayyidah, I got it. You have to beat your mind with a shoe. That's what we recommend. Beat your mind. The mind is fickle. It goes here and there. Therefore, it's material. Mind is not spiritual. But intelligence is also material. But intelligence is higher than the mind. So So with intelligence, he should decide, no, I'm not going to let this mind pull me away from hearing. And when it does, bring it back. It does, bring it back. Like a 2-year-old child. He's going to touch everything, grab everything. The parent has to be there. No. Or you have to take the child away from him. So that his intelligence is like the child, the parent. And the mind is like the child. Always restless, fickle. If you tell the child, 2, 3 years old, 6 still go, is it possible? You have children. Is it possible for a 2 or 3-year-old child to sit quietly? They're not going to know. The nature of the soul is active. So a mind is like that. It's going to jump here, there, everywhere. In a second, I can jump to America. In a second, then I'm in India. Then I'm in. So we have to bring the mind under control. We read in the 6th chapter. Ooh, can we go down to chapter 6, text number 6. Easy chapter 6.
Yes.
So just the translation, is this it?
For him who has conquered the mind is the best of friends. But for one who has failed to do so, his mind will remain the greatest enemy.
So it's up to us, we have to conquer the mind. By intelligence. Otherwise, you're right, the mind takes you. I'm sure people are right now, here we sit. What to do? This is our conditioning. We're conditioned to be nonsense, to be unfocused. We have to practice. Practice makes perfect. Little by little, we can control the mind. Then make it our friend. Read the next person. 6, 7.
For one who has conquered the mind, the super soul is already reached, for he has attained tranquility. To such a man, happiness and distress, heat and cold, honor and dishonor are all the same.
Could you read it again? I missed the first one.
For one who has conquered the mind, the super soul is already reached.
Super soul is already reached. That's like perfection. But that's the whole yogi's goal, before severe austerity, to try to conquer the mind. But we have an easy process. Maha mantra. Mantra means the mind, how to control the mind. So by focusing on this chanting, we can quickly come to the point. The super soul is reached. We're already successful. Yogis have this, and at this age that the yogis can do that. Because even the Himalayas have polluted. I was just reading an article about it, where they said, now they just raise the charge to go on up to the because they have so many people who are, I don't know exactly what this is. But anyway, the point is, don't be discouraged that your mind is a rascal. It's the nature. Just like we shouldn't be angry with our children. They're going to be nonsense. They're born with false ego. So we have to deal with them intelligently. How to use our energy in a constructive way. How to get them to. It's not an easy thing to raise a children. That's why we apply sannyas. It's not an easy thing. And it's a big responsibility. You have to do it. You can't say, I don't care for the kids to do it. No. You have to, especially a 2 or 3-year-old child. How much attention they require. The mind is like that. Okay, that's a good question. Anyone else? You had another question? Yeah. Oh, okay, no.
Yes, another.
Hare Krishna. Maharaj, how to be obedient to authorities, how to increase
Obedience
to the authorities.
What's the question?
In spiritual life, how to be obedient to authorities?
Yeah, we can read that. Chapter 3, text 3. Oh, it's text 30. Chapter 3, text 30.
Therefore, O Arjuna, surrendering all your works unto me with full knowledge of me, without desires of profit, with no claims to proprietorship, and free from lethargy, fight. This verse clearly indicates the purpose of Bhagavad Gita.
Purpose of Bhagavad Gita is indicated.
The Lord instructs that one has to become fully Krishna conscious to discharge duties, as if in military discipline.
Military. Yes, sir. You made another line.
Such an injunction may make things little difficult. Nevertheless, duties must be carried out with dependence on Krishna, because that is constitutional position of the living entity.
Bhagavad Gita. So these purports of the Shastra. It's as good as the verse. Therefore, we have to worship Prabhupada. And what she advises Prabhupada, she asked him, what is the best kind of worship? He said, worship of Vishnu. But then he thought about even better, or even higher than worship of Vishnu, is worship of the Vaishnava. Prabhupada to recognize Vaishnava. We want to keep him in the center. He told us also, at the end, keep the Acharya in the center. He's talking about himself. Keep his books in the center. Keep his murti in the center. Have faith that he can take it back home, back to God. Shri Prabhupada ki. Another question?
Hare Krishna Maharaj Navakana. Maharaj, in the previous verse you said he has attained the super soul. What actually you mean by that? Attained the absolute? Understood?
Yeah, I understand the question. To attain the super soul means that you are fully in harmony with the Lord within you. And he can dictate to you. You're self-realizing. So it's not so easy because the mind gets in the way. It's like this lady is saying, the mind is disturbed. Everybody disturbed by the mind. And because we turned over power of eternity to our mind. But we should be taking guidance from the super soul and from outside also. Because, in other words, we're not at this level of taking guidance from the super soul. Therefore, we have Guru Sadhu. But Tesham Sarvayukanam Rajatam. When we come to that level of pure devotion, the Dhani Buddhi, Krishna says, I will give you the intelligence. So he gives us the intelligence. Now we can make further effort. If we conquer the mind, then the super soul is already ready to guide us. But we prefer to take guidance from our mind. We're used to that. Since time immemorial, we can't even trace out the beginning of our fall down, trying to compete with Krishna instead of cooperating fully with him. Okay, next.
Maharaj, so we just recently had this December marathon. So the question is, how important is book distribution versus other sevas that we have?
Well, we have so many sevas. We have the cleaning the temple, taking care of the needs, preaching. Of course, book distribution is ideal. Preaching because people may, especially if they give a little money, then they'll think, okay, I spent something for this. Let me see what it is I want to get my money for. They may think, if you give it free, then you're like, I got free and you leave. Not always, but that was Prabhupada's argument that we should always ask for it. You just don't believe in this course. 50 years of printing. You can't try to go through printing if you're, you know. Okay?
This is regarding, so as we progress, as ISKCON as a society moves ahead, so there are chances that there may be some changes from what Prabhupada has.
Yes, so therefore we have to be alert for two things, to keep ISKCON pure and to keep ourselves pure. There will be, the tendency is, that adults want their own apartment, they don't want to be together. So we're all adults. We want to have our own movement. We want to have it here. But that's the danger. But the Gaudiya Math has done that. Now they have like 100 golden ones, and each one is separate. There's no central authority. And the Christian church is like that. I was reading that there's like 17,000 different Christian sects. Each one has a little different philosophy. 17,000. So we probably didn't want that. He wanted his country to remain united. That's what he states in the best will. And the GBC should be the final authority. So why can't we remain? We've done it now for the last, how many years? It's probably left.
47.
47 years. It's still together. We have some splinters here. We have here also, right? The glorious, so that we can expect. But still, the core, the majority of the prophets disciples are with us. And the following of us, so we should continue. And like I just mentioned, Prabhupada said this, the only danger to this movement is from within. And outside, nobody can stop us. Who can stop us from chanting Hare Krishna? It's difficult for them, for the police to come. They chant cars and try them, right? They go up in the Ganges and said, that was started by the smarter brothers. They complained, what is this Hindu sect that Chaitanya was? It's not bona fide, they said. But they couldn't stop. How can they stop what Chaitanya was doing? Did it was more question?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Maharaj, consistency in spiritual life is a great challenge sometimes. Sometimes we read nicely, we do read nicely, hear nicely.
Sometimes you don't.
Very difficult to.
It's always going to be. That's why Prabhupada is stressing this point of hearing. Well, we're ordinary men. We're not so qualified. We're born in the Kali Yuga, and our parents didn't do sanskar before we were pregnant. Maybe many of you parents have done that. There's a ceremony that before conception, the parents perform. Then they join together for, at that time, at the proper time. They have to be, and then the child is more likely to be a good child. But nobody follows these things. We were born more or less like cats and dogs, out of the lust of our parents. They weren't good. So therefore, we have to make it very simple. I'm going to make it very simple. I'm not a big intellectual person. I'm staying with the movement because I'm making advancement, and I feel that, and I don't want to stop making advancement. So that there may be some dry periods and so on, like who was it said, when you're going through hell, keep going. Just keep going. You may find a dry period, or you don't have a taste of chanting, but do it anyway. And then gradually you'll come out. You'll be joyfully performed. For me to chant 16 rounds is not a duty. It's something I don't do, I feel something's wrong. So it's not it becomes a labor of love. What is a mind to? Joyfully performed. It's the requisite for self-realization. And then we won't be lacking anything. We won't feel something, some lamentation, hankering, this, that, and other thing. That was where we thought Prabhupada. He didn't need anything. He was full in himself. So around. So we can become like that. But there's a struggle, of course, because the mind is there. The best friend or worst enemy. So let's make it our friend, Mr. Mind. But we're not the mind. We're not even the intelligence. We're the soul who has a mind. So you, the soul, you have to become serious. I'm not going to follow you, Mr. Mind. Unless the mind can be corrected and valuable. You can give us advice on how to preach and so on. You can use our mind. You don't have to kill the mind. Next question.
important is it to aspire to become a sannyasi?
We should talk privately. This man has a question.
Thank you. Sometime after, just after hearing some lecture or just after chanting, trying to show some meditation, then I become frustrated.
Just after hearing a lecture or after chanting the japa, mind goes back to sense gratification.
Yes, sometimes all the time, because it's used to doing now. This is our life, it's sense gratification. But Prahlad says it's during the chew, so when we convince of that, then we can give it up. When we see that it doesn't really satisfy us, it's a false hope, hope against hope, that we can be happy by sense gratification. But when we're really convinced, then we can give it up. Just like school, you don't have any trouble doing that. It was very intimately connected with you, right? When you see it, you smell it. So when you reward beds, you see sense gratification stinks. It just disturbs you, degrades you, embarrasses you. Especially things that Lisa said. Then you can okay, no problem. Next.
Maharaj, can you just tell us about your association with Srila Prabhupada?
Your association with Prabhupada?
Association with Srila Prabhupada.
Yeah, I have a book about that. You have a book?
You tell us one or two incidents.
It's only what?
Yeah.
200 rupees. No, I can tell some, but I was interested in any more philosophical questions, because these are good questions. Yeah.
In continuation with that earlier question which I had. So I heard from a senior devotee in ISKCON that the word, so we use this Dandavat Pranam nowadays in ISKCON. Everybody, when we meet each other, we say Dandavat Pranam. But the devotee was saying in Prabhupada times it was never there. Devotees always used to say Amgar obeisances. So I just want to know from you what was Prabhupada's?
What is it? I don't say this too. We didn't say it about it. But what's wrong with it? It's a nice gesture. That I offer my respects to you. Is that what you mean? Yeah, so that's not wrong. Next question.
Hare Krishna. So Maharaj, this verses that we were referring to now, in that it says that the mind has to be controlled. So that is the beginning actually. So because controlling of the mind is just the start of making it to attach to Krishna. So when it is attached to Krishna, then that whole cycle is complete, isn't it, Maharaj? Now we try to control the mind, and then we also know that it has to be attached to Krishna. So we try to attach it to Krishna, but it doesn't stay there. So it keeps coming back. Like we discussed that. So my question is that how is it that, which is first, like we keep it with Krishna so that the mind becomes controlled, or you control the mind and then take it to Krishna and then it has to stay there? Yeah, we need Krishna.
There's no doubt about it. But that's what we just read in the verse this morning. That if we seriously take that to the process, Krishna will help us. He promises, He'll protect his devotee. So we should focus on that. And then Krishna will help us. On our own we can't do it. It's a fact. The mind is too strong. Just like who is it that we can't do it? Menaka?
Vishwamitra.
Very advanced. Powerful, yogi. But we can't do it. So we can avoid that victimization by becoming better devotee. By sincerely crying to Krishna in the chant. That was like a baby from the mother with the cry. Should we practice? One round? Hare Krishna, Hare higher than Krishna. Because he's controlled by him. So, just be a devotee and everything will follow. But you have to be serious to be a devotee. You always offer your food. You always not step over people. That's one thing you shouldn't do. But you know, literally, the old habits come back. So we have to be careful. I mean, I think it would be difficult for me if I didn't have a chance to live in the temple. For many of you have never lived in the temple. It's going to be a little more difficult. Because living in the temple and being under authority, like we're saying, military authority, then it's like you have to follow. Otherwise, you move out. But I guess for many of them, it's not possible. For me, it was very helpful living in the temple. Okay, should we stop?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. It's like in our material life, like we are facing a lot of crises. So how do we do?
At least we get there.
Like even in our material life, we are facing a lot of crises. So how we can be consistent in our Krishna consciousness, and how we can develop ourselves that we can face at the same time.
It is going to be hard. But we need to take advantage of the hearing. If we hear regularly the Srimad Bhagavatam, the purpose, Bhagavad Gita, and the purpose, then we'll have the strength to see, okay, this is Maya. This is favorable for my Krishna consciousness, and this is unfavorable. If something is unfavorable, we neglect it. We don't pick it up. Just the same example about stool. It's no longer valuable, so we flush the toilet. We don't have any problem flushing the toilet because it's stool. So when those thoughts come into your mind, stool-like thoughts, you just flush them away. Don't meditate on them. Don't give them strength. Okay, I'm going to stop here. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Now we have a short video. This video contains memories of Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada and the ladies.
Jaya
ಇವರು ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಆರ್ಮಿ ಕಾಲೇಜಲ್ಲಿ ಓದಿದ್ರು. He studied in army college and is working. His work is work from home online. So in Poland he became a devotee. And one great thing, last 3 years consistently he is traveling with Maharaj. Night time he works and daytime he serves. So I give speak something about Maharaj travels and preaching.
All the mercy of my Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada and my senior devotees. I have a quick announcement about the wonderful book His Holiness Kirtan Swami Maharaj has written. It's titled as Priceless Moments with Pure Devotee. So Maharaj had quite a lot of opportunity to associate with Srila Prabhupada and render so many wonderful services like driving and giving massages, so many exchanges. Srila Prabhupada used to personally give assignments to Maharaj to go to various countries and preach and open centers and so on. And Maharaj has been associating with Srila Prabhupada since 1969 until 1977 and even after that as well. So all such wonderful moments and exchanges have been incorporated in this wonderful book. It's a small book but it's very priceless. This book has been well received all throughout the ISKCON movement. So many senior Vaishnavas, including His Holiness Jayaprakash Maharaj, Raghunath Maharaj, Bhaktivikas Maharaj, Lokanath Maharaj, Giriraj Maharaj, Satsvarup Maharaj, and the list goes on. So I request devotees to please avail this opportunity to have this book. I think 200 rupees is very cheap. Like I was seeing, one pizza was like 500 rupees. So Maharaj will be signing this book. And one small thing, Maharaj is actually now 84 years old. And Maharaj is in sannyas, received sannyas from His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada in 1971. So Maharaj is in sannyas for 54 years and still continuing very strong, inspiring with his daily regular sadhana. So please devotees request to come and have this, don't miss this opportunity to have this book.
After everything that you discussed for all the members of the those who want the book can please meet Ranjala.